I really like how they've done the ages. Having artificers equate the Industrial Revolution is very nifty. Yeah, I really like the lore in this. I really do. I was actually thinking last night, there are a couple of things missing, like there's no vampires. I'd quite like to see a human realm ruled by vampires, kind of like Sylvania and Warhammer. And I was thinking, like, what kind of mechanics could you use to make that interesting? The obvious one would be the generals would be vampiric, so they would have higher than usual stats in much the same way as the mages would. But the other one I was thinking is, why not make your cavalry the vampire units? They're very fast, they can attack the flanks and hit more units. And then you could do something like plus 50% damage, plus 50% shock resistance, but double the cost, or quadruple the cost, or something like that. So then the cavalry would be rare, but super powerful in their armies. Vampires are in development right now. Interesting. And liches would be another one. Like, I think liches are one of the most woefully underused creatures in mystical, magical settings. Like, if I was a wizard, I'd be trying to create lichdom. It's immortality, of course I would. Or make the vampires banner troops. Yeah, something like that. Exploit development equals killing the population, then you raise them for undead troops. Well, here's the thing. I don't think that vampires necessarily being associated with the undead makes sense. They can't eat the undead. Surely if you're a vampire, you're gonna want to keep living humans relatively happy and relatively healthy, so you can keep on snacking on them. I would definitely, like, if there was a realistic vampire society, I would see it working in what's it called? Not symbolically. Symbiotically. In symbiosis with the human population. Like True Blood. It would be more like that. The vampires will be in a state in Coruvia. Oh, that's interesting. You can become a lich as a strong wizard. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Make it a low cav ratio so you can have an army consisting mostly of skeleton or other low undead. Or just human infantry. Just bog standard infantry with these hugely powerful cavalry units. Yeah, actually, the cavalry ratio is a really good idea. I was wondering how you would limit the number of these crazy strong units you could have. The only thing I wasn't sure about is it possible to have shock damage done by a single unit type? I know you can have, like, army shock damage, but is it possible to do, like, infantry shock? Or would it have to be done by combat rating? Cavalry combat. In the Eberron D&D setting, there is a country ruled by vampires and the only undead's the standing army. That makes more sense. It's one of the reasons I quite like Sylvania, because I think Sylvania is actually relatively realistic insofar as a fantasy setting can be realistic, rather than surrounding themselves with undead. You can't add direct to the modifier, but you can just directly increase the cavalry shock stat. That is true. Merc units have their own extra combat abilities. Yeah, but that's infantry combat. That's not, like, necessarily cavalry shock or cavalry shock resistance. But you can do it through the pips. The pips would be the way to do it. Just have really good pips for them. Merc perks don't work at the moment, though. Vanilla bug. Really? That's a bit of a big one. Vampire the Masquerade. Dark Ages does a very good job of imagining a working vampire-ruled society. I don't know much about Masquerade except for the Masquerade, like the modern game. And here's the other thing, like, I could actually imagine, like, as long as there was a law enforced against draining humans dry, I wouldn't be that surprised if humans would willingly give blood for a semi-immortal, superhuman being, like, enforcing the laws and stuff for them, and, like, protecting it, especially in the Middle Ages. Like, who the hell is going to attack a realm protected by vampires if the vampires are being supported by the human population? I don't think they would. Could you imagine, like, if Carthage was vampiric, would Rome still go to war with Carthage? Would Rome really want to go up against these supernatural beings? The Crusaders probably would, that's true. High realm stability for being snacked on once in your life. I mean, you don't even need to be snacked on, that's the thing, just give blood. You know how people give blood for medical reasons? It'd be the same thing. Like Underworld. Yeah. Vampires are doing stuff in the shadows of Anbennar lore. I really need to write my own world setting. I've been wanting to do it for a while. And a vampiric realm would definitely be one of them. No one wants to work. Set the vampires on them. With the generous liberties we have granted our merchants, we have ended up with a situation where people simply don't want honest work anymore. See, we're too productive. Yes, Rome would, and they would win. I'm not sure about that. Although it would be interesting if Gaul were protected by vampires. Actually, Gaul protected by vampires and doing hit-and-run tactics from the forests and things. I think even that would scare Rome. Rome was probably a bad example, though. More medieval tactics, like 100 Years' War. If the French chivalry were vampires with the longbows really stand against them, they'd be too bloody fast, you wouldn't get a shot off. Colony self-sustaining, Sulamac Pass. Good. That was you. So you head on over to Mead Rock, which we will start to colonize. And then we will go and core Sulanac. And this is it. This is the last place that we need to get done. And then Ovdal Kanzad over here is complete. Mission fulfilled. Ho ho. Clear the tree. That was it. That was the last bit. While we have secured the most important parts of the Tree of Stone, our enemies still lurk in the most isolated corners. If we wish our tree to be able to grow uninterrupted, we must clear with these last pests in the roots. And this will give us construction cost and time for 25 years. Yeah. Next one. Grozumder, Ovdal Kanzon, and Hull and Carousel need to be level 3s. Now that's never going to happen. So this tree is already broken because the holds aren't growing. So the only thing that we can now complete is going to be the Mithril Rune-Forged Artillery. Payback loans. You know what? Yes, I will repay those. And we are now debt-free. And we're making 36 ducats a month. Heck yeah. Alright, now I need to keep on saving for my 1,200 ducats. How much of this can I save? Quite a lot. An example to us all. A 50% cheaper Amber Dwarf Ancestor Worship General. Land maintenance. That's just going to replace the guy we've already got. But he's 50% off, so yes. Welcome to the team. Viakok. Equal amongst men. Long has been our journey, but finally we've proven to all those who doubted us that we are true and respectable members of the civilized and international community, whether they like it or not. Where are you? Oh, way over here. What are you? Sea Scourge Knolls. Interesting. In Vampire the Masquerade, the Ventrue and other clans steered the Roman Republic to kill off Carthage due to the Perugia clan having the god vampire thing, also going into more unsavory demonic pacts. Yes, demons are a thing, and yeah, I knew that. You're saying Joan of Arc wasn't a vampire? Small elite population with large population that feeds them. Sounds like Sparta would be the vampires. It probably would be a civilization similar to Sparta. How long are we for war with the command? 1 year less than last time. Gaul would be the werewolves. Carthage would be the shapeshifters, and the Vandals the human vampire slaves. I really want to make some of this now. Learnings of an elder. It's very easy to forget the younger races live life to a fuller and quicker pace than ours. During the first must keep up with new development if our country is to prosper. Ooh! I saw a Rumba get about 1 million of these. This is my first one. So, Durin can gain 1 admin, 1 diplo, or 1 military. I would be tempted to say military. Except for the fact that I don't find military development as useful as production development, which I find very useful. So I think I'm going to go for Diplo. There we go, 565. We've had this guy since he was like 30. He's been great. It's going to be weird when I have to let these guys go, once we've finished all the colonization. Victory! Parliament has passed the quartering of the troops. Good. Minority purged. Agent and the command was discovered. Again. Meadrock is under attack! A vast horde of goblins has attacked Meadrock. All 6,000 of them. And they're fighting the mercenaries, who I think have actually recovered, yep, the majority of the manpower that they started with. Is the focus on admin still required? Probably not. Nah, let's turn that off. That was mostly when I was trying to do innovative and expansion, which I'm not anymore. Good point. I mean, it's been useful while we were coring things, but that's not really a thing happening anymore. Are we still building here? We are. That's being embiggened. Stolen gem. Equal amongst men. Oh, our neighbour. Unfortunately, it's a cavern. But we have a backup mithril source now. And we don't have the anti-monstrous CB against stolen gem anymore. There's a decision for monster races to come as civilized. Yeah, I know. Alright, Amethyst Overhang is now done. So you guys can return here and start drilling again. Then, let me think about this for a second. I'm going to want to start developing... You're only a 31? Oh, that's Mordred. That's not the hold. You're a 42. You're a 50. You're a 40. I think I want you developing. It's only a 5% chance is the only problem. And yeah, we're about to hit our development maximum. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to sort by cost. And we'll start developing up some of the provinces that could really do with development again. Oh, we never devved up Isdar Rod. Really? What was that? That was over here. There it is. Let's turn you into an assembly. And then let's also get the development cost buff. And then dev you up. There we go. Alright, now I don't want to spend anything else because we are 4 years away from leveling up. But we got a nice injection of development. We are now making 50 ducats a month. We've got 808 development total. I will spend 52 dropping my inflation again because we're going to become increasingly reliant on gold income. Yeah, we are. So why is Poet making less money than Isdar when they have exactly the same level of development? autonomy. That's why. Yep, makes sense. But that's fine. We have quite a lot of autonomy reduction, so that should resolve itself pretty quickly. Don't forget to start deving the one special resource province. You mean this one? Yeah, true. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not in a hurry. No, we're going to wait until we have economic ideas, because we are intending to get economic ideas. It will happen, probably. Probably best to set the colonists on low dev road for the quickest gain of dev, or otherwise the caves, because they're painful to develop. Well, the caves won't have any difference, because it's based on your development cost. Although a 13% chance here for a dirt rock hole is actually pretty good. So yeah, let's cancel you and send you to dirt rock hole. That's actually a good idea. I approve of that one. And group. Mr. Meltorp training up the rest of the army. How's our professionalism looking? It's rising, it's 50%. Fortification expert in Twitchrod. Twitchrod is actually one of the big junctions. It's that one. That's a really important province. Stay at home. Improve the defences. Give me more defences until the end of the game, please. State-hired adventurers embarrass us. An adventuring party we hired for a quest has apparently caused much embarrassment to the Kanzad name. So they lose 10 loyalty. Or we lose prestige. I will lose loyalty because you are at 30.2. Which is enough to keep you happy. Also, all of the development means we are now up to 99.4 crown land. Because I forgot, if you develop land, you get it. Restoration of Tuad Dumakson is finished. Fantastic. The other thing we should have saved resources for, actually, is deving this up to a 40. Especially as it's a gem hold. And let's get the castle upgraded. No, I am not spending any other resources because I want to make sure that I can get technology as soon as they become available. Otherwise, I lose innovativeness, and that is unacceptable. Keaturha. Popularity of porcelain. Porcelain has always been popular in Canor, and along with silk and ivory, served as one of the main goods flowing into the west from Rahen. The new adventurer kingdoms of Iskand, settled in the aftermath of the Greentide, seem to be loving it far more than everyone else, and are importing it in never-before-seen quantities. Combined with easier access to Rahen through the new trade routes of the Dwarves, the demand for porcelain has never been higher. Porcelain increases in price. Silk, tropical wood. I thought it was going to be here. Ivory. Tea. It's not from there. Where's the porcelain coming from? An area I've not seen before, maybe? There's a lot of furs there. Unsurprisingly, seeing as it's the north. Be interesting if it was a new world resource. No, the new world resources are new world resources. Sugar, tobacco, cocoa. Dyes, gold. I haven't seen a single unit of porcelain. The relics. Because yes, relics are also a resource. Which somebody did find. But porcelain is different to relics. But somewhere over here should be relics. But we may not have seen it yet. Like, we haven't explored any of this. This is all just from natural map spread. Relic is yellowish on the cape. Yeah, that's where I was looking. This is where I was saying I was kind of expecting there to be... Oh, there it is, porcelain. Okay, it's over there. So, if you wanted to get into a heavy magic playthrough... play as these bits. Especially these guys. Super magical. Because 3 of the 5 provinces are porcelain producers. Okay, good to know. I just wasn't looking far enough. And the little island. Over here? Or over here? That's all fish. That's coffee. Tea. Gems. Sugar. Cocoa. Tea. Gems. I mean, I did see one area which was Dame's tier. Haven't seen relics yet, though. Oh, that's Dame's tier. Gold. Urban is like the hold version for non-dwarfs and goblins. Okay, so that's like Anbennar. Anbennar cost? I think that's what it's called. Damn it, I know I saw the... there it is. Tiny little island with Dame's tier on it. Was it the gnomes who found the relics? I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm curious now. Who are these guys? Because they're so small. Mutadaya. Urban. Dev cost -10. Defensiveness +10. Human majority. These are just humans. I wondered if maybe this was all the humans and then this was the Raja. Rakshasa. Sometimes a Magisterium gets relics. I'm pretty sure they don't yet. It's clear to us, however, that the next campaign is going to have to be we take over the Tea of the World campaign. Alright, onwards. Need another 300 ducats or so. Ish. 300-ish. 6 months. Gold! So this whole area was bloody rubbish in terms of resources. Like, the only thing that spawned in later was the Dame's tier, and we got lucky with the gold there. I guess gems were an original resource. Then over here we've got, like, gold, gold. Actually, it's just the 2 golds. Gold. Gems, gems, gold. Gems. Gems. I think I said that gems twice. And coal. 2 mithrils. Yeah, none of our home area had mithril. At all. The stone seed, or whatever it's called. Iron and copper is really good. I mean, actually, in terms of like lore and roleplay, the fact that we have so much copper and iron around us makes a huge amount of sense. So I'm pretty happy that we have that much metal. Because we are super metal. Trust your neighbour. Although citizens are encouraged to show trust and good faith in their exchanges, the reality in many nations is that it's a risk that people cannot afford to take. That is not the case in Ovdal Kanzad. Does this game also have battles like Total War? It has battles, but you don't zoom in for them. So your armies will look like this, where you choose how much infantry, cavalry, artillery you have. The proportion of your army matters. The commander of your army, which is this guy Nems, matters. And then when two armies fight, there's like an automated... It's like auto-resolve in Total War, but more detailed. And it like every day is an update, which shows the casualties. But there's a lot more detail on the macro level, so you can choose what type of units you have in your armies. You can choose like how disciplined they are, which increases their attack and defense, their resistance to various types of damage, their damage output, either shock or fire. Yeah, there's still a lot of tactical stuff going on, but it's nowhere near as in depth as Total War. This game has just different focuses. This is more on ruling the realm. This game does the strategic layer a lot better than Total War does. In fact, Three Kingdoms basically stole the diplomacy system from EU4. The new techniques in our production are rumoured to be flawed, and several leading nobles argue that we should discard them and go back to the old and tried methods instead. So, we can lose prestige, or we can lose admin. I think I would rather lose the prestige. Thank you. Our army is under attack. No, in fact, here we go. We can see the battle. So this is what the battle will look like. Give it a second so it ticks in. You can see the discipline of both sides, so we are more disciplined. You can see the morale of both sides. You can see the tactics of both sides, and then the numbers, and then the facing of their armies. And then every day, you'll get a report like this, where it shows the casualties each side is suffering, until there's a victory, or a defeat. Right. Ovdal Kanzad, I am pretty sure I can upgrade you now. Let's dig even deeper. Oh, price went down. I think that's because I have the development cost reduction. Let's do it. And then let's make sure... No, I didn't actually have the dev cost reduction. That's interesting. Speaking of which, I should probably take a look at and remove that edict where possible. With the exception of the advancement effort, because I'm pretty sure that's still expanding. Has it spread to this one province yet? No, we're halfway. 1587. Now, the gold provinces, like Poet Rod, didn't get any printing press. You did. Huh. So we could potentially get printing press spreading here. If we dropped a whole bunch of points into that. What's needed for the railroad system? 17 admin. It's still a ways away. 16 admin. We're currently on 14. Almost at 15. So we're getting closer. Alright, so if we went to war with the command again... I can't just attack you either. The commands have just insulated themselves from me completely. I would have to start spying and fabricating on you. Demands of labour. With the construction of the hold continuing, one cannot help but think it would be done at a faster pace if we spent more on it. Production efficiency, or everything seems fine as it is. Actually, I'm okay spending the production efficiency. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, I know it doesn't do anything, but I'm pretending it does. I want to... Yeah, we need to build some temples and things. There are quite a few places that would benefit at this point from further development. Get some of these buildings going.